This is the state of Washington versus Amber Van Ree, cause number CPS 013529. Stephanie Sada on behalf of the state. Ms. Van Ree is present in custody with counsel, and I didn't get your name.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Michelle Shaw, and I apologize. I walked out of the courtroom, Your Honor.
The state is declining to file charges at this time.
Okay, what that means, ma'am, is no charges will be filed against you today. However, that could happen in the future.
Those were some of the details relating to Amber Heard's arrest, but if you think the bad part of all these is that she was arrested, then I have a huge surprise for you. Not only was the actress arrested, but according to reports, she was actually arrested for assault. And what's more is that she actually tried to lie about it during the 6-week-long trial between her and Johnny Depp. I know you're definitely interested in knowing more about Amber's assault history, so stay tuned till the end of the video to get the full story here. They say history is the best predictor of the future, and while that may be inaccurate in some cases, it seems to be pretty accurate in Amber's case. This is because the actress has actually been caught up in a case similar to the one brought against her by Johnny, except that at the time, there were no charges pressed against her. But you're probably wondering what it is she did exactly? Well, she got arrested for assaulting her partner. Authorities at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport in Washington State confirmed to USA Today that Heard was arrested by Port of Seattle police on September 14, 2009, according to SeaTac spokesman Perry Cooper. Heard and her then-girlfriend, artist-photographer Tassia Van Ree, got into a fracas at the airport after Heard allegedly grabbed and struck Van Ree's arm. While Amber has repeatedly denied this ever happening, there was actually a witness to the ordeal, and she did not hesitate to spill the beans. Speaking to the court, police officer Beverly Leonard testified via live video link that she had allegedly witnessed Heard get into an altercation with her then-partner Tassia Van Ree at the Washington airport. According to Leonard, the alleged incident took place in 2009 at Seattle-Tacoma Airport, where she worked at the time. Speaking with Depp's attorney, Camille Vasquez, Leonard said, "I was in the baggage claim area and I observed her with a traveling companion. They got into an altercation where Ms. Heard grabbed her traveling companion and pulled something from her neck. At that point, I got up and went over to try to break up what appeared to be a fight. I summoned a colleague to help me, and I stepped in between them and separated them, stopping any further injuries or escalation," she said. When asked about Heard and Van Ree's interaction with one another at the time, Leonard said Ms. Heard was aggressive toward her traveling companion. She had reached up and grabbed her arm and pulled a necklace off of her, and then I observed her having it in her hand. She seemed to be not very steady on her feet, her eyes were blurry and watery, and I could smell alcohol. Leonard went on, "She raised her hands in what appeared to be a defensive manner, but other than that, she was pretty stoic and didn't really respond much. Her stature was 2 or 3 inches taller than Ms. Heard, so she didn't really need to have to defend herself." Vasquez then asked Leonard about Heard's demeanor at the time. She was somewhat dismissive. Leonard responded, "She just said, 'We're just having an argument. We're fine. We're fine.' Because I was asking if they were okay. 'Are you okay? Is there anything wrong? What's going on?'" Leonard also alleged that she observed injuries on Van Ree at the time, saying she had an abrasion on the side of her neck where the necklace was, like a rope burn, from the chain as it was removed. In the end, Amber Heard was nicked for misdemeanor assault in the 4th degree of domestic violence. However, in November of 2011, the police received a request to delete the arrest information on the case and is allowed under Washington state law. It was then deleted from the system. Cooper said, "But not from our systems." After Heard was arrested and her mug was shot taken. Her case was assigned a number and she appeared in King County District Court in Seattle the next day on Sept. 15, 2009. There she learned that prosecutors declined to press charges against her. The district court clerk's office confirmed to USA Today. Van Ree, however, says Heard was wrongfully accused and the incident was blown out of proportion. She then issued a statement to people about the incident in which Heard allegedly grabbed and struck her arm during an altercation at Seattle Airport, calling the situation over sensationalized. She also said the cops had misogynistic attitudes and appeared to be homophobic. Specifically, she said, "I recall hints of misogynistic attitudes toward us which later appeared to be homophobic when they found out we were domestic partners and not just friends." It's disheartening that Amber's integrity and story are being questioned yet again. Amber is a brilliant, honest, and beautiful woman, and I have the utmost respect for her. We shared 5 wonderful years together and remain close to this day. Of course, it doesn't exactly take a genius to be able to tell that Van Ree was probably pressured into releasing that statement, and while it didn't even make a dent in the prevailing narrative about Amber being an assaulter at the time, it caused some problems for the arresting officer of the case. In a statement posted to Facebook, the arresting officer, Beverly Leonard, who happens to be a gay woman, responded to the accusations. "I am so not homophobic or misogynistic. The arrest was made because an assault occurred and the parties were in a domestic relationship, she wrote. Leonard also thanked whoever leaked photos from her Facebook page showing her support for gay rights, saying, "I wanted to personally thank you for setting the record straight, pun intended." I mean, it's pretty obvious from her horrible attempt at changing the story that it actually happened, and if that was an isolated incident, maybe it could have actually been scrapped. But the fact that Johnny suffered the same fate at her hands is more than enough proof that she was probably an assaulter. And what's more is that she actually tried to prevent the case from coming up in court because while she knew it basically proves her history of domestic violence, it also opened Pandora's box on her history of assaults in general. And spoiler alert, it's not just her partner she's assaulted, reports also prove that she may have been assaulting her own sister as well. The theory first came up after footage confirming the assault was submitted at London's Royal Courts of Justice as evidence during Depp's libel action against the publisher of the Sun newspaper. Then later, during the 6-week trial, it was dug up by fans. The tape is believed to have been taken from a reality TV show recording from 2006 or 2007.
Did you get in a fight or something?
Oh, thank you. Got into an altercation.
Ow.
I already talked about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I can't believe Amber beat your ass. I know you could beat her ass.
In the video, Henriquez, aka Whitney Heard, is seen with a group of friends sitting around a pool. One friend asks her, "Did you get in a fight or something?" Henriquez replies, "I got into an altercation." Her friend then says, "I can't believe Amber beat your ass. I know you could beat her ass." In fact, you could see the friend actively inspecting Whitney's face and arm, noticing marks and making comments about the physical assault that seemed to have been inflicted on her by Amber. Although Whitney stated in a deposition that the fight between her and Amber at the time was verbal and not physical in any way, the video tells everyone a different tale. Generally, it's one thing to have a history of assaulting a partner, but it's another thing to have a history of assaulting your sibling. And that was the case with Amber. This basically tells you that no one seems to be off limits to her, which is probably why the jury ended up taking Johnny's side in the case. Anyway, all of these details were pretty shocking to a lot of people, especially considering that it's still being debated if or not she actually assaulted Johnny Depp. However, a lot of these people have been talking about it nonstop and sharing their views on social media. One user who doesn't seem to believe any of her lies wrote, "When you do people like this a favor, it's not a favor. Hold each person, you and I, accountable. She has had many get out of jail free cards. It's long overdue to pay for sins. If Johnny does not make her pay, she will come back in vengeance." I mean, considering that she has repeatedly gotten away with assaulting people in the past, there's probably a chance that if she doesn't pay this time, she'll come back with another story. And from the looks of things, Johnny doesn't seem like he will be letting things slide so easily, but we'll find out soon enough. Remember that these details are based on theories and research and should be regarded as such. That's it for now, guys. Goodbye.